called by the government of India, the opposition seems to be taking on the centre. Now it is Sonia Gandhi, the Congress leader, who's come out to say that the Prime Minister is making appeals to the opposition parties to extend the support that the government wants to bulldoze in this special session of Parliament when the election campaign is high in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. However, she says that there can be only one reason for this extraordinary hurry, which is to derive political advantage and place the opposition on the defensive. Let's connect with Akansha on this. Akansha, what is Sonia Gandhi now saying? Because Mohit is also joining us right now. And Mohit, the very assertion that is now coming in from the Congress leader, she says that the real issue with the government's move to bring the bills in this special sitting of Parliament is something that it is not reservation but something else, because she now seems to be claiming right in the middle of the election season, the timing is something that is now being questioned.
Well, yes, in fact, Sonia Gandhi has written an op-ed. And you see, Congress party has been saying this for past many days, Amita, that this is not just about Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. It's not about women reservation. It's about the timing that the opposition party specifically they are questioning. Now, the opposition parties are saying that amidst of the elections that are going on in the state of Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, the special session is being called just to get the political mileage. And this has been reiterated by Sonia Gandhi. Also, Sonia Gandhi speaks about that how this particular session is linked to delimitation. Now, this has been the concern from the opposition parties that the amendment regarding delimitation would be brought in, delimitation would be done, and the major share of the seats would go to the northern states, while the southern states, while they have worked actively on the family planning, on the birth control, and perhaps that could lead them lose their share of states. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi on umpteen occasions, Amita, have spoken about this, that when it comes to delimitation, there will be no difference in the proportion. Every seat will get the equal share of the seats. So the opposition parties are linking this to election polls and delimitation, while the government has been clearly saying that this is the time that the early implementation of Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam should take place to give women their right, our daughters are right. And we saw that how exactly Kiran Rijiju, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, in a reply to Mallikarjun Kharge, clearly yesterday stated that this is not about politics, and he himself has held various consultations with the opposition parties, and it's a right time.
Put out certain excerpts, and what she has been saying to target the government as Akansha will help us understand and explain, because here is Sonia Gandhi. Akansha, she says that there can be only one reason for this extraordinary hurry, which is to derive political advantage and place the opposition on the defensive.
Absolutely. A big question the Congress party is asking: why a sudden rush? Let me take you through what Manikam Tagore of the Congress party has mentioned. Why this sudden rush? The sequence is clear. Census, delimitation, women's reservation, but the government is flipping it. The Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam was already passed in 2023. Clearly states implementation after census and delimitation. So why push delimitation before census 2027 is completed is the big question that the Congress party is asking, because as per him, the 2027 census is expected to include OBC caste that would reshape representation and could bring over 150 OBC women MPs into the parliament by 2029. Is this a rush, an attempt to prevent that shift under Prime Minister Modi? The timeline is being altered, not for reform but for control. Women's reservation was never the issue. Representation and social justice are. So this is what the Congress party has a question asking: why this sudden rush?
All right, please just stay on with us, Akansha, because this is coming at a time when today the Prime Minister would be also addressing the Nari Shakti Vandan Sammelan, and that's going to happen in Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. The BJP, however, has hit back on Sonia Gandhi's article as well on what she has penned, questioning the government, the intent and the timing. Listen in.
Once again, the government, through Kiran Rijiju ji, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, has reached out to the entire opposition, particularly Kharge ji and the Congress party. The Prime Minister has made appeal to all parties, written letter to them, and even Mr. Kharge was approached by Kiran Rijiju ji as early as 16th of March that conversation and consultation needs to be had with the Congress leaders. Wide consultation and conversation has been had with all the opposition parties, because the government is committed, Modi government is committed that there can be no more delay in the implementation of Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam.
Well, Nyamika is also connected with us. Nyamika, good morning. The opposition leaders having written to the government not once but on multiple times requesting for an all-party meeting to be convened in the last phase of elections over West Bengal and also discuss the new proposals on the government area. But however, this seems to be the points that Sonia Gandhi seems to be penning in this article, but she feels that the opposition has not been taken into confidence.
Well, yes, indeed. Sonia Gandhi, who is the CPP chairperson, she has basically questioned the timing of this move of the government of India. She has basically mentioned that when in 2023 this bill was being passed, at that point in time also the Congress party, as the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, had demanded that it must be delinked with the census and the delimitation. But at that point in time, the government didn't agree to that. And why there is so much of hurry now that a special session has been called by the government of India to discuss the women reservation when the provisions, the draft of this bill is not being circulated to the opposition parties is the question which is being raised by Sonia Gandhi. Not just that, but she has also mentioned that the entire issue of the opposition is not about the women reservation, it is about the delimitation because they had demanded that this entire delimitation process should not be done just arithmetically but also in an equitable manner. The concern which the opposition parties are raising is that an injustice will be done to the southern and the northeastern states, and that is the only reason why they had demanded that an all-party meeting should be called when the polling in the state of West Bengal on 29th of April got over, and that point is also being mentioned in this particular article of Sonia Gandhi. In fact, she has stated that this the way in which this entire move is being taken by the government of India is basically undemocratic because no consensus is being formed by the opposition parties. She has also given a reference of the fact that in 1993 when the reservation was being given at the panchayat level.
Saying that as far as the clearance is concerned, there has been a significant delay on part of the government on its implementation, and this is a very hurried manner in which that the government is now bringing as far as the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam right in the middle of the election season. And those very questions, Akansha, are also being raised by the opposition party leaders.
Absolutely. A host of reactions are coming in from the Congress party and also from Trinamool Congress. I'll take you through that. This is what Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress party has said. He said Sonia Gandhi asserted that the real issue why the Modi government is calling a special session of the parliament is not women's reservation but delimitation and delaying and derailing the caste census. And then he has gone on to quote her article. This is what Priyanka Gandhi has said. She's also posted her article that goes on to quote that there's simply no justification except narrative management during troubled times for this steering hurry to bulldoze extremely far-reaching changes to our polity. Saket Gokhale of the TMC has said very important because no one will tell you Prime Minister Modi has been running a fake and malicious agenda for the last few days, claiming that his government wants early reservation for women in parliament. In reality, Modi is using women as an excuse to bulldoze his real agenda of delimitation, which is redrawing boundaries of Lok Sabha and assembly seats. Sharp reaction is also coming from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Pradeep Bhandari of the BJP has said that the Congress is back to try and delay the implementation of women representation bill just like they did in 2010, and he has gone to explain the Congress's playbook, a masterclass that he has called This Is in Deception.
All right, Akansha, thank you for that update. Well, the kind of reactions and counter-reactions that has been coming in, we are now standing by as far as our Prime Minister's program today is concerned, because that is going to be on part of the Union government's broader push when it comes to women-led development that also seeks to underline the importance of greater participation of women in decision-making processes as well. So India is now standing on the cusp of a major political reset, and one that could actually redefine representation in the world's largest democracy. Now, the government, which is convening the special session of Parliament from the 16th till the 18th of this month to discuss the Women Reservation Bill. And ahead of this session, Prime Minister has also written a letter to the floor leaders there in all parties seeking for their support in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, where he's urged for their support on the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. And he says that this is a historic moment for India and it stands above or any party or any individual, and they must show the kind of support that needs to extend it as a nation altogether, which is working towards when it comes to the empowerment of women. So let's get you as far as what the Prime Minister has been saying, because he's now been calling it writing to the floor leaders that this is an opportunity when it comes to strengthening democracy and the society also, which only progresses when the women, being the other half of the population, also progresses with the rest of them. Stronger women participation is something which is needed and vital when it comes to a developed nation like India. And of course, when we speak of India's daughters, Bharat ki betiyan, that is now making an impact in every field. And also the Prime Minister says that the women are proving their capabilities with hard work and also determination, and that needs to be reflected even in Parliament. Because it was back in 2023 that members of the Parliament that had united for the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, and now the Prime Minister says that the time has now come to implement when it comes to the Nari Shakti bill. And if elections are happening, then of course when it comes to the women reservation, that will also infuse this new kind of energy when it comes to democratic institutions, where the Prime Minister says that this is a very moment that should be kept above party or any political individual, their ambitions. But this is a moment that will actually show your true responsibility towards the women, towards your future generation, and also when it comes to the greatest achievement, when it comes to Nari Shakti and 140 crore Indians, is now something that he now seems to be making the appeal. Let's listen in to the other political reactions that have been coming in.
The women's reservation bill having been passed is something that we have been looking forward to just for the last 30-35 years. But this is a feat. But we now need to see whether the reserved seats and representation that has been now an historical decision will also translate into decision-making power.
But all those who have been deprived, if they are included, it's a very happy situation, and it should be done.
Congress party, per se, always it is being taking anti-women stand. They are against the women reservation, women getting opportunity to contest for the parliament and as well as for the assembly election. So we are trying to bring in amendments to implement, to enforce for the future upcoming elections. They want women reservation to be enforced, to be implemented. So in this direction, the parliament has been called for all the parties to participate, bring in the required amendments.
For the Prime Minister's address, however, what we are now looking at, Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, that also highlights when it comes to growing presence of women in the roles of leadership and across multiple sectors. That's going to be the top focus right here on Times Now. We're going to head into a very short break. Back with more.